The road I'm on now, just trying to see if I can turn this around. The road I'm on now, as you can tell, is flat, which is helpful. But as you can notice, there are no street lights. So as tired as I am, I got to keep the pedals going so I can make it to down. The route that I'm taking is actually not US Highway 40 or US Highway 50. I actually took a set of back roads, which are designed to put me closer to downtown Vandalia, which is actually right by the interpretive center that I want to visit tomorrow morning. I'm actually still doing pretty good. It's about 6:40 p.m. and I'm still operating on largely Hammer Nutrition products. I haven't had the ability to stop for food because I'm riding through farmland, which I knew to a degree would be the case, but there were a few restaurants that I thought would be open that were not. So I'm grateful I brought some wild Zora beef jerky because that's been keeping me going from a protein standpoint. Although I haven't had time to really grab much of it because I'm trying to keep these pedals going and hopefully find a tent camping location or a cheap motel for the night. The bike's holding up just fine. I got a few persistent squeaks and rattles, but that's to be expected. I'm riding on some really rough roads out here. I'm the only cyclist I've seen all day, and the only recumbent, well, I take that back. I'm the second recumbent cyclist. There was a gentleman on a Rand's long wheelbase that passed me on the trail. He seemed quite amused that I was riding the tadpole with all the bags on the back. So I'm doing what a few other people advise, and that's to keep the cadence up. And that's helping out a lot as far as fatigue, keeping it at bay. I really need to be holding this up, but I'm just too tired to do it. So the video is probably going to be right at eye level or right below. I apologize, but my mount's loosened up and I can't chance of dropping my phone on the street. So for video for now, until I fix the mount, I got to hold it. And of course that's not ideal because the hills out here are really nice, but they've also dropped me in some really scary predicaments in the middle of nowhere. No trespassing signs, no one to speak of. I'm really glad I travel self-sufficient. It's not a place to come where you don't know how to fix your own bike because it could be bad, real bad. I get this back home, so it's not really too big of an adjustment, but I think I've had about 2 or 3 moments where I looked around and went, I am the only person out here on a bike. And it's about to get dark. I have a headlamp, but it's so far down in my bags, I don't even want to stop to dig it out. So I got 2 blinking lights on the flag and the bright yellow bags in the back, so I'm visible from behind. As long as I can make out where I need to go, I'm just going to go with it for now. If I do need a light, I do have a headlamp that I'll put over the helmet. That'll light me up at least 10 feet in front of the bike. That'll be good enough. But yeah, it's that sketchy that I don't want to stop and dig out a light. That's pretty bad. So there's a pitfall to taking certain routes. I definitely got a lot of things to think about moving forward. Tomorrow I will be back on US Highway 40, and I'll probably take that into Ohio, where I'll take some rest days off and friends, so gotta push for now. Okay, so I've been going since 7 a.m. It is now 7:03 p.m. I am about 10 miles outside of Vandalia, Illinois, and as you can see, it's about to get dark, and my legs are still going. I credit that to Hammer Nutrition because there was no access to food along this route. On the map it showed access, on the GPS it showed access, but everything was closed. I just basically used Hammer Gel, Perpetuum, Feed, and Sustained Energy. Hey, I'm actually feeling pretty good. Now my last water stop, I made sure to get plenty of water, and that's the only thing that's making me feel a lot more confident about being out here at this late hour without any real food aside from
I was so happy last night to get that road angel rescue me from the dark road that in my haste to break down the frame and fold it up and try to finagle it into that trunk, I left my collar, which you see right here, and I left the new spring. So I managed to remember to keep the lever and the backup nut, which I can no longer mount because I had to take the collar off of a spare skewer I brought to mount the new quick release back on the frame. So it's still functional, but I don't have the new pieces. They're now somewhere in the middle of Silver Creek Road. So periodically, put your bike on its side and just go over your screws. Now, some things are supposed to move, so factor in leeway on those, but other things are supposed to remain tight and have backup nuts on the back side, so check everything out thoroughly. You don't want to find out that you're in a bad situation when you're in a bad situation. Well, one thing I don't take for granted is being able to depend on my bike. So throughout the first day, the top jockey wheel was rubbing on the cassette. Now, some things you can kind of deal with, and honestly, I dealt with it for the entire first day of the ride, but long term, that's not a good solution because that wears out two key components. In fact, two key components that I just replaced. So I'm now making an adjustment to bring that wheel off of the cassette so that the entire system spins and operates as it should. So I'm leaving out of Vandalia. I'm on US Highway 40. Just taking a break. It's supposed to be extremely hot next 2 or 3 days. What's interesting, even on this little 2-lane road, everyone is giving me the full lane, which is nice. I continue to have experiences at home where people just try to, squeeze past you. I mean, you can almost feel the mirror graze your back type of stuff. And out here, I mean, granted, there's no one on the roadway, which helps, but everyone's giving me the full lane, even the motorcyclists. It's beautiful. The shoulders are actually, at least so far, not bad. A few pieces of rock and chip seal, grasshoppers everywhere. But I like the new camera mount. I basically took a selfie stick, clamped it onto the front boom. So I can raise this, but it has potential. I mean, you can see my entire face. And you can see behind me. Now, it's not the most durable, so I can't ride with it full extension. But it is good because I can, well, not really, I can't really tilt it much, but it has some options. Let's see, tilt it back a bit. There we go. On the surface, it's one thing to look at someone else and go, I can do that. But it's a totally different thing to take that influence and then make the steps line up so that you go from idea to concept to preparation to doing it. So what's holding you back? And I'm not just talking about bicycle touring. Tell me something that you've been dreaming about that for whatever reason is still a memory, still something to think about but not acting on. We all have something that we have either dreamed about or it's in that short list, something that one day we keep pushing it back. We keep hoping that one day it's going to be easier to pull it in. Life gets in the way. Time gets away from everybody. Sometimes it's not even time and money. Sometimes you just want somebody else to believe in you before you can act on it. This trip is not just about me pedaling. There's a lot of collective experience that we can all use, but it takes that willingness to tap into it. So first stop will be Teutopolis. It's about 7 miles away. And then we fuel, and I'll let you know how I feel.